good to be back.
Hell yes. Welcome to the From the North podcast, the Masonic podcast. From Harmony Lodge number 21, we have myself, Jason Lee. I am Junior Deacon.
I am AC Ransom. I am Senior Steward.
I am Gary Roberts. I am still the Tyler.
For now.
For now. I'm seeing...
Until I demit.
I'm seeing Junior Warden in your future.
I don't think so. Not if you want the lodge to last beyond a year.
So we're just meeting again, coming off a little bit of a hiatus we've had over the last couple weeks. We're meeting again to talk about life, lodge, being better men, what it's like to be a Freemason in today's world, how that gives us a different perspective on life, and just kind of what it's like to be brotherly and friendly towards our fellow Freemasons and the world at large. So yeah, let's just jump right in.
Yeah, jump into what is the real question.
That's a good cutoff point that we can be.
That's true. We can just
put whatever we
can come after that. That's a very good point.
Yeah. So actually, do we want to talk about social things?
Yeah.
Okay. My big update is for probably the first time in years at this point, maybe 7 years. I don't know. I actually introduced someone to my parents, a prospective female partner.
Were they just thrilled?
So I went about it in classic me, Jason way, which is I tell my parents on Monday or something. I'm like, hey, let's go to dinner on Friday. That's it. That's all I tell them.
And you show up with a girl.
Walking in with a girl.
Well, the day of, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, you're going to be meeting my new girlfriend, who, by the way, they have no idea that I've even been with her, for any amount of time.
Good.
This is
Who you've been dating for some 120 plus days. Or
yeah, I know. They're just whatever. So completely out of the blue. I've told them nothing. Literally, the things they know is that she exists, probably. But, they also know they could just show up and it would just be me there. They're not ruling that possibility out because I'm so, aloof and, I don't tell people stuff. And,
good grief.
Anyway, so...
I would do the same thing.
But, I've also not told her a whole lot about my parents either. She asked and I'm usually I don't know. I'm just not a very, sharing person. So everybody, except for me, is going into this with just, no idea what's about to happen. But we went to not the old spaghetti factory. We went down to Macaroni Grill. It was fun. It was good. Super awkward at first. I was not, again, it's been a minute, so I didn't remember how to, introduce, my partner and be like, hey, this is who I'm going out with.
Oldest lady first.
Oh, is that what you do?
That's the rule of thumb.
See, this is
you always introduce the oldest lady first to everybody else.
So I say... So it's hi everyone, this is my mom, or do I say hi mom, this is everyone? You know what I mean? Which direction does it go?
You know that I don't know. I just know it's the oldest lady first.
Okay.
Ladies first before gentlemen, and oldest lady first.
I did not do that. I don't know what I did, but it definitely wasn't that. It went well, but mostly just because the girl I'm going out with is just really good with people and really good with parents. I felt like I was no help at all. I was just. I would have
loved to watch this.
Right,
this would have been so fun.
To be a fly on the wall, that would have been great.
Well, my parents are
it would have been a bit better than any sitcom on TV.
It kind of was, because my parents they've been married for I think 45 years at this point. And they're an old couple that just they've been married so long they know everything about each other, and they just bicker about everything, or and nothing. But it's not real fights. It's just
they just bicker. Yeah.
The lettuce is too thick. You bought the wrong lettuce, and you know what I mean. It's just random stuff.
Don't buy butterscotches that aren't Brock's.
Yeah, exactly. Just random, just random things.
I'm starting in that progression with my wife.
Are you?
What's this off-brand BS?
Oh, yeah. What's this? The wrappers don't come off right off these things. Better buy Brock's.
They have better wrappers.
Oh my goodness!
Just had that conversation this morning.
Did you really?
Yes. Oh yes. And she's like, "You're picky." Hell yes, I am. But I like my Brock's.
But if you need a wrapper to come off quickly, like, that's what you need.
When you want your caramel, you want your caramel.
You want your caramel.
You don't want this waxy stuff that comes from this off-brand from Macy's.
Thank you. Oh, but I do like Macy's.
Well, yes, because they have, maple.
Yeah. They also, I like to go to Macy's. I don't know if they don't do it so much now because of COVID stuff. Another thing COVID has ruined. But you used to be able to just walk in and get, like, samples of ribs or what's the other one, brisket, and I loved that. That was great. They also had samples of sushi.
They still cook the brisket in front of the doorway.
They don't let you sample it, though.
No, they don't let you sample it, but they sure smoke up the door, so you're craving it by the time you get halfway through the door.
And I've bought it several times, and when I eat it, it's always not nearly as good.
No.
Well, hang on. I hate to be this guy, but we should, like, whiplash it back to what Jason was talking about how the dinner went.
Oh!
We went from how his parents handled it to what we're talking about now.
We were going to get there.
No, we weren't.
We were drooling over brisket.
Brisket's good, though. Just saying. No, it was weird because and the thing I wanted to kind of say that was the weirdest is like this girl I actually consider like we have a pretty good chance at this point of like going the distance, and like actually getting married or like doing something of that sort.
Ooh, that's a serious statement.
Exactly, right? Like, but the reason I'm saying that now is like I knew that beforehand, but like afterwards we just went back to her house. And she kept saying, she's like, you're like looking at me differently now. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. And she's like, no, you're like literally like your eyes are looking at me differently. And like for me, like for some reason, this is just like the, almost not like confirmation, but it's like, yeah, like, okay, maybe we actually are gonna like get married or like do, go the distance. And I just didn't expect that. Like I wasn't expecting to, like I still got to meet her parents, of course, but like
and that could be the deal breaker.
That could be the deal breaker. But it's just so interesting to me that like I'm a grown ass adult, and somehow my parents' approval like still is like so necessary to like me as a human.
Having your spouse and your parents not get along because they don't like her, and probably for a good reason, is bad for a marriage.
Totally.
So, it matters, yeah.
And I get that.
But I've not seen that happen very often.
No,
unless
really.
It's been they've known the person for a long time, the spouse for a long time or something like that. I've seen it very rarely where the parents haven't supported the child in the choice of spouse.
Interesting. And like, I know that like the whole like you want like your mother-in-law or whatever to like you and whatnot.
Oh, my mother-in-law's an angel. She's the best person on the planet.
That's good. I think I just didn't expect like my own behavior to change so much based on that. Like, AC, you were talking earlier today about how like you and the girl you're going out with, like you started using the L word, right? And like we've been using that for a hot minute, but like. Now it almost means more to me. And again, I don't know. That's just kind of the thing I'm trying to say, though. Like, it's just weird that even at this point in my life, where like I would consider myself an adult and like I've grown up and like I'm doing my own thing. I don't need my parents' help for whatever, right? Like, they still never really leave your life. Like, they're still so necessary to even something that should be so like it shouldn't matter really if my parents like her or not, but like it does. Like, it matters a lot. And I didn't realize that even driving to this place. I was like, I don't care. Like, if they don't get along, that's fine. Like, I still like her. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't change anything. But, like, it would have, for sure. That's all. That's just the only, like, big revelation I've had. Is that I still care about my parents. I don't know if that's a revelation. I feel weird about that now. That should be normal. It's a normal thing.
No, that's pretty cool, though. I mean, to have your feelings towards this young lady validated and accepted by your parents is a big deal for anybody.
It's just been weird. Maybe it's just because it's been so long since I've actually like gone through this process or whatever. But like I was not expecting it. It's just kind of thrown me for a little bit of a loop.
Nah, it's a cool loop to be in though.
Yeah, I like it. It's fun.
I'm glad for you, bro. That's awesome.
We also watched American Horror Story. Not to change topics, but have you guys seen this show?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not a horror story guy. I dated a girl that liked horror stories, and I got into them for a little bit, and after that, I've been totally out of it.
So we started on... So every season is kind of like its own self-contained thing, but like they have similar actors. So we started on this one called Roanoke. We're not done with it. We're about halfway through. It's super good, and I hate horror movies. I absolutely hate them. Not because they scare me, but because I'm usually very bored. Because like I care about like character development and like good storytelling.
And usually you don't really.
And usually you don't get that in a horror movie for sure. This one's great though. There's like good mystery, and I'm like trying to figure out like what's going on. What does this mean? It's actually been really good. So I wish you guys had seen it because we could talk about that, but I guess we can't.
No, the only horror movie I've ever gotten myself wrapped up in was the Blair Witch Project. I don't know if you've heard about that one or not.
Oh yeah, of course.
But when it came out, I got wrapped up into the pre-story. So man, my head was going the whole time, and that's the only movie that has really scared the pants off of me, literally. And I love it so much, I keep watching it. And it is the crappiest film movie you've ever watched.
Well, I can beat that.
That found footage look, right?
Right, yeah. So, but the marketing on that was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
The marketing sold the movie. If you just saw the movie, you were like, "Yeah, this sucks." But
you say it's a bad movie, but the weirdest movie I've ever been like truly afraid of. Remember the old Mummy movies with like Brandon Fraser?
Yeah.
Or whoever he was. Well, in the second one, there's like these pygmy skeleton things.
Yep.
And I was like a kid when I saw the second one, and that scared the crap out of me for months. Like, it's a freaking Mummy movie, and it scared me for months. Like, these little pygmy skeleton things. So, I recognize that, like, movies can be scary, even if they're not, like, super high quality.
King Kong and the Land of the Lost, the Slee Stack. I'm that old, yes. Those were the ones I used to have nightmares about. The black and white King Kong movie.
Really?
King Kong, I did have these nightmare dreams.
Of him, like,
King
catching
Kong,
you?
would catch me and that kind of stuff.
Oh.
And I'm trying to hide from him as he's hunting for me in the buildings of New York, which I'd never been in. And
Of
still
course.
up to this day, I've never been in. And then the Slee Stack from Land of the Lost
I don't know that.
would freak me out. They were just these alien...
Slee
Stack. You have
What
to
do they
look it
look
up.
I'll look it up right now.
Like prehistoric humanoid dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. I'll look it up right now.
The heck
This is what scared you, Gary?
Had
It did.
nightmares. Let's see it. Because you know it looks bad now, but if you're a kid back
We need
then...
when we post this, we got to put a picture of this or something on there.
On YouTube, I'll pop up a picture of it. And then in the show notes on the other ones. Look at those things.
That's it, right?
That's it. And I used to get them mixed up with what was the name of the show with Colonel Klink and
Hogan's Heroes?
yeah, Hogan's Heroes. He used to get these crossover dreams. They were really
What
freaky,
the
where we were
world?
like fighting in underground tunnels against the Slee Stack with the guys from Hogan. I had some funky dreams as a kid. I might explain a lot of things.
I'm dying. No, really.
But if you saw that in black and white, you'd be scared too.
I don't know.
When you're a kid, you might be.
Oh, that's good, Gary. That's good. Oh my gosh. I've never heard of this Land of the Lost.
Yeah, it's an old, like Saturday morning TV show.
That is interesting. Anyways, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good,
What are you
you're
afraid
good.
of? Let's look that up and then make fun of it.
No, it was the cartoon Anastasia. Watched it when I was really, really young. Freaked me out. Gave me nightmares to this day. I still
What part
don't
of
like
it?
that movie. Probably all of the parts with Rasputin and all the stuff that he did, you know? But the part where they're like in the underworld and he's like falling to pieces and like his evil henchman, the end part, you know, or whatever, all that crap going on. It was just too much as a kid. Freaked me out.
I've never seen it.
I was very young. It's not a kid movie, man. I hate it so much. Still hate that movie to this day.
Ooh,
It's
let's
like, hey,
play it
party,
right
let's watch this
now.
movie. I'm going home. Sorry, no.
Oh, I'm gonna play it right now.
I'm not scared of it now. I just hate it. I still hate it to this
Just
day.
hate it.
Just hate it.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm playing it right now. I mean, he is a creepy dude. For sure, clearly.
And my cousin, who usually gets more freaked out than me at things, thought that part was funny, where he was like falling apart and stuff. And I was like, how is it that you weren't freaked out by that, but I was?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go home and watch it.
Childhood stuff is weird.
We don't see him falling apart.
So our parents didn't mess us up. TV did.
Ooh, and then in high school I watched The Ring.
Oh, The Ring, though.
Dude, okay, for being in high school, when I watched it, I'm embarrassed to admit that it freaked me out hardcore.
The Ring was scary when it came out,
like,
though.
that movie that you watch inside the movie.
Yeah, the VHS
Yeah, like, dude, that was some freaky crap. Like,
well,
I don't know if I, like, stopped breathing or if I was holding my breath, but after it was done, I was like... It was not good, man. I hated it.
Well, and I remember everybody...
I'm really embarrassed to admit that, for sure.
They were spreading rumors, like, if you push pause, or, like, if you try to rewind, it won't let you rewind. And, like... No. Like the actual, like...
There's always these little myths that...
Yeah, these little myths and stuff that just, like, everybody was... Like, it was just, like, huge. I just remember being super creepy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one either.
It's not that creepy. No.
And then, it doesn't... I think what really cemented, like, how terrible it was for me, you think, oh, like, it's ended, there's a nice ending, there's closure. Nah.
No.
It's not. Things just got worse.
Yeah.
Like, there's like, oh no, you let her loose, so now she can just do whatever the hell she wants. It's like, oh great, it's just... There's no good ending, and so that was like, so you got no relief from the being freaked out that things are better. It's just nope. It's just yeah.
The Ring 2.
Yeah, isn't there a Ring 2?
There's like a Ring 2 and a 3, I think.
Oh, there's a 3?
I think.
Oh, do you want to hear the stupidest horror movie?
That's why I like the Hellraiser series.
Do you want to hear the stupidest horror movie I've ever seen in my life?
This is a good pod. Yes, please.
It was called The Human Centipede.
I'm never watching that. Ever.
No, it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
It seems freaky and gross.
Well, it's stupid. Like, the first one was absolutely intended to be, like, super freaky and gross and, like, scary and horrifying.
You're talking the first one that's in the black and white one?
No. The one... There's 3. There's 3 human... I've watched all of them.
It's like Sharknado, huh?
Because I couldn't stop.
Sharknado's hilarious.
No, you don't understand, you guys. So the second one, let me just phrase it's like the doctor from the first one that like did this thing. In the second one, it like starts with him watching the first movie and being like, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that." And then it's just like it's just the stupidest thing in the world. And then in the third one, it's the exact same thing where he's watching the second movie. It's the same character. I know.
Lame.
But then he's like, oh, but he's a warden at a jail now, and he's like, I'm gonna do the same thing. And it's just like they like chain like 700 people together, thinking that like, yeah, your nutrients are gonna make it to the end of a 700 person chain for sure. But it's just like
barely makes it through
it
the
was
first
just the stupidest, and like the acting is so hammy, and it's just like it's so bad. It's like the worst horror movie I've ever seen. I couldn't stop watching though. Because it was so bad.
B movies are the best. B horror movies sometimes are just yeah, they're so bad they're good.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how bad it was, and that's why I had to keep watching all of them.
Good grief!
I couldn't stop. It was just so bad. American Horror Story though, super good, and not so far. It hasn't been like super crazy violence or anything. I hear that it can get that point.
There are some. I've seen some clips on YouTube of things that are pretty gory.
Don't spoil anything though, because
I don't know what episodes they're from.
I'm super excited about this show because it's actually like, it's good so far. Like mystery and like I'm interested in it and like I like it so far. So don't ruin it.
I don't know enough about it.
Good.
To ruin it.
Good.
So.
Yeah, but I'm watching you.
Spoilers.
Plus
it ends!
Plus I have no intention of watching that.
Spoilers! There's no season 2! No. Just like there was for humans.
For humans?
Yes. Oh, I had no season 3. Season 2. Can't remember.
Humans?
There's a show called Humans?
Yeah. It's a sci-fi kind of show called Humans.
Alright, if this is the train we're going on, then the show that needed a season 2, I'm sorry, but it's Firefly.
Oh, I was just thinking the same thing.
That is the show that needed a season. Like, you can't do it now. You can't do the thing like they did with Arrested Development.
It's done.
But, like, it needed a season 2. 100%. 100%.
I've never actually seen the whole series.
You've never seen Firefly?
And the movie. You gotta do the movie.
I've seen the first episode or 2, maybe, and that's all I've seen.
The first episode or 2 are kind of but the rest of them...
So good.
Yeah.
That's amazingly good.
I didn't stop watching because I didn't like it. I really just don't watch many TV shows or movies.
Okay, we'll do that one.
No,
No, do it.
No, the only time I watch stuff like that is when it's like a group or somebody wants to watch it with me. Then I'll sit down and watch. If it's just me, I'd rather read a book or play the guitar or do anything else. I can't sit down and watch a movie.
And see, I wish
I'm wasting my time.
I wish I was more that way. I waste too much time on videos and movies. I am a movie nut. I watch movies over and over and over again.
See,
I used to enjoy it more. I just don't now.
Yeah. I should be more into... I wish I read more and wrote more and practiced my guitar more. And
Well, what do you do with this girlfriend that you love?
Well, actually...
That's the L word?
Oh, you're right. It does start with L.
It does start with L, yeah. That's the L word that we're using.
So what do you guys do? Do you not watch... You should
No,
watch
she
Firefly.
has me watching The Good Place.
Oh, I've heard that was actually really good. Are you through season 1?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the twist?
I'm almost done with season 2. I do know the twist. I think, is it the 3rd season that's the one that just barely released?
So.
Yeah, so she wants to watch the 3rd season with me, so she's getting me caught up. And see, so I'm fine with it, because she enjoys it. It is funny, so if it's something we do, like, a night or two and like, we hang out, that's fine. But beyond that, I just, like, I can't make myself do it, even though I enjoy it when I do watch stuff.
I see. Dang it, Gary.
Gary's in there, no!
I need to read and write stuff.
So here's my philosophy on the entertainment that I consume. Just like your food, like the less processed it is, the better. It's that same way for me. And
you think books aren't processed?
Instead of watching the movie about a book, I'd rather go read that book.
Oh, so The Boys is like a comic book, I guess.
Well, yeah, so.
But the show is better. Like,
fair enough. So anyways, so that's why I'd rather read something than watch something. Or
I could jump on that. I could use that. That's beneficial.
Like Game of Thrones, for example.
I love Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, good TV series until it wasn't, but the books are also really good.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah, the books are really good.
But I think
like,
you're better off
more
reading
detail.
the books.
Oh, I agree. But like, I like that I watched the show first, because now I have like this image of like who characters are, and it's way easier to tell like who's actually talking and like saying stuff, because there's a million characters in the books. And I would be confused.
That's why it's better to read the book first. It exercises your brain.
Yeah, no, I
you have to use your imagination.
I think that's definitely not true, and I like the way I did it.
That's going to be that sound clip is going to be something I have on tape at all times, and I would be like, hang on, boop, and just be like, I think that's definitely not true. I like the way I did it better. I'm going to have that play for whenever somebody says something. I'm like, no.
Oh gosh.
So.
Anyways,
who knew we'd end up talking about movies and TV shows?
That's good though. That's good.
But thinking about books though, I've got one that I want to send you. I'm not going to tell you the name, but I'm gonna bring it in a couple weeks.
Ooh, we should still do the episode where
it's called the Socrates Express.
Ooh, I listened to a podcast about the book.
That's where I mean, it was the Art of Manliness podcast.
Yeah, same, bro.
I'm listening to it because of your recommendation.
It's such a good podcast. The website's amazing too.
Yeah, it is. And
you can find anything you want.
But the book sounded intriguing because it covers a whole bunch of different philosophers and in kind of an express, fast view, and gets you interested in them. And I was thinking it'd be fun for us to read, and then
come back and talk about it.
For me, I'm hoping to use it as a launching pad to studying the ones that I really like their philosophy and that kind of stuff. So.
You should look into.
But I'll get you guys. I wanted to get you guys a book.
Okay.
Does it cover Diogenes?
Thank you, Gary.
You're going to have to explain Diogenes to me. I remember I'm educated in Idaho, not Utah.
So Diogenes is like... I'm like 90% sure that's his name, but I should probably look it up.
I think it does.
Wikipedia always does not have the right answer.
Yeah, I just want to...
Ask my son. He goes online every day to mess somebody's Wikipedia up. That is... every day during his... whatever, the flex hour that they have at high school, he changes some Wikipedia.
What's a flex hour?
They're supposed to be their study hall hour.
Oh. Yeah, but they have people who,
they go back and correct,
crap, right?
Yeah, but it's changed until they undo it.
That's so funny.
Wikipedia is not an encyclopedia. Dang it, if you didn't pay $700 for it, it ain't worth it. Free on the interweb.
He's essentially just like... this guy. I mean, he was a cynic. That was his like philosophical like contribution. But he made his whole thing was like he was super impoverished, and he refused to like not be impoverished. So he would like sleep in like clay pots, and like this was like he's a philosopher like on par with like all of your typical philosophers. But he was just saying like everything that everybody else preaches is stupid. And this is how it's just been explained to me. But he would just do like ridiculous things that like would land normal people in like a jail or like get them in trouble. Well, not a jail, obviously, because it was in the past, but it would like get him in trouble. But like he would get away with it just because he was like a philosopher.
Because he was nuts.
Yeah, because he was nuts.
And the best philosophers are.
But he was just like this ridiculous, just like anti almost philosophy type of person. But he was a philosopher. It's hilarious. I've only read a few things about him, like, to be honest, but that would be the philosopher I would want to do research into. Diogenes.
Yeah. I don't know if he's in there or not. I don't think it is.
He is,
I don't
but
think
I
he's
don't
in there.
remember too well.
There's several. I mean, it goes through several, but
Yeah. The book is broken up into like the 3 parts of the day, or whatever, and there's a few philosophers for each one, I think, right?
Yeah, 6 or 7 different philosophers that goes.
But you know, if
but it gives you a good overview of what their philosophy was, what they studied, a little bit of history about the person, and why they.
But I will make that book a priority if you are so kind as to gift it.
Yeah, I will gift you one.
Which
I'll have to have it here next
you should
week.
know is a lot coming from me, because I have a lot of books on my to-read list. I call it my infinity list, because it never gets smaller, and I'm not going to get through it.
It's a running joke at the house. Is I'd love to buy books and not read them.
So I'll just read to you like just again. I was not paying attention to anything anybody just said. I was reading this. So
Yes.
Apart.
It was, yeah, right? What's changed?
It's all about Jason in the middle of the universe. Here we go.
Yeah, you get it. So it says
He is the point within that circle.
There it is.
so
So they explain it wrong in the EA degree.
Yeah, exactly. They do. You just be like, this is Jason.
This is Jason.
everything revolves
I'm gonna
around
do that
Jason.
if I ever give the EA lecture and you're in the room.
Done.
It's gonna happen.
Like, this is Jason. I mean, I'm sorry. This is
Jason in the circle.
I love that this is my thing. Now I feel horrible.
It's not really that much of a thing.
Shut up, guys. I'm sure it is. So it's just saying he even rejected normal ideas about human decency. He is said to have eaten in the marketplace, urinated on some people who insulted him, defecated in the theater, and in public. This is like the philosopher. This is what he does. When he's asked about this,
You sure he's not a sociology major?
on the indecency of his in public, he would say, "If only it were as easy to banish hunger by rubbing my belly."
Well, that's funny. That's funny.
So like those
That's
are the
terrible.
stories. So like those are the stories. I mean, again, I don't know a whole lot about it. But,
It'd just be entertaining to study. Just
exactly.
to see what
Like
he'd come up with.
those are the only real
Holy
things
cow.
I've really like heard about him. Is like his ridiculous like whatever that is.
Yeah, more of a socialist. Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be fun. I say we do that. That sounds like a good thing.
That, and we should also do the thing where we can reread it, but have Jason read Observing the Craft.
Yeah.
And
I'd
then
really
we can
like
come
you to
back
read
and
that one.
Yeah,
discuss that. I don't think it'd be very expensive to get. It's like soft. It's like, you know, the soft back cover or whatever, and it's not very
It's
thick.
a quick read. You could read it in
Very
a couple of
quick
days.
read.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's fun.
And the best part about it is that I think we would all mostly agree about most of the same things. So you're going to sit here and echo chamber it up, baby.
Ooh,
And
I like
Well,
it.
and the thing is, I mean, that book has directed a lot of my thoughts
Yeah.
as to how I think lodge should be. Having only been a member of a lodge now for almost 2 years, and a year of that being COVID stricken,
Which doesn't count.
Yeah, so
Do I really make it all about me?
No. But if you did,
but if I have an opportunity to dig you, I'm going to do it.
Okay, good. No,
Oh, you're still worried about that? You're just like, wait, guys, wait. It is like a joke, right?
Which proves it even more.
Which brings it back to mine again.
We're not allowed to move on. We still have to talk about me.
Okay, enough about me. Let's talk about me.
Oh my god.
A different part of me.
Enough about me. What do you think about me?
That's the quote right there.
But enough about me. What do you think about me?
Sometimes I feel like that's how I am. Because I like to share things with people. But I have to I have to make a point to not.
But that's the thing that you're an expert in.
About myself.
That is the one thing that everybody is an expert in, is themselves.
And if there's people that I care about, I want to share. And I ask them about them too, but I like to share with them about me because, and I like being shared with back, of course. But I'm always a little bit worried that I'm like, oh boy, here comes AC. He'll just going to tell me everything about his life.
I blow a bunch of air.
Blow a bunch of air.
I worry about that all the time because I was told, even when I was a teenager, that my hell, you've done a lot of stuff. And it's because I've done a lot of different things.
You have.
And sometimes I feel like maybe like that I share those things too much, too often, and I don't spend enough time saying, what about you? What have you done?
See, the thing is, I think if you went back and listened to all these podcasts, you'd find that not to be true, Gary.
That's
because we enjoy when you share, because you definitely share less than me and Jason.
That's an empirical question. We can time it. We can go back, listen to each one, and time it.
And we would know.
Have fun with that.
I mean, I won't, because I don't usually listen to our podcast. But, yeah.
Well, me neither. I was listening to it 5 times when I...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually...
And once you hit post, it's done.
So there's actually some podcasts I listen to where the guy will talk about how he listens to all of his podcasts that he has been a part of, help release, because it helps him keep track of what's been discussed and stuff. But I'm like, man, I'm so surprised when people will listen to their own, because you were there for it, you probably helped put it together or something,
I've done that with ours, though. I'll go back and I'm like, I remember us talking about that, and I can't remember what it was that I had an action item for myself, an internal checklist of something I wanted to do, and I can't remember what it was. I'll go back and...
See, that's what I will do.
Should listen for that reason.
I usually don't just... not since, the first or second one have I just, listened, just played it straight through. I'll usually now just go back for exactly that reason, be like, oh shoot, someone said this, or I can't remember exactly what they said. I wanted to hear that, so I'll go and look for that. But I usually don't just listen to the whole thing. Yeah, because I'm boring.
But I will. I'll usually listen to each podcast twice.
Wow.
After they're posted, just because sometimes during the midweek I need to pick up it and a good giggle. And it's a good way to get one.
Fair enough.
I mean, because I enjoy the time that we spend here, and we at times have some good laughs. And there are some
at times,
and there are times in there that there's some inside stuff that just we know, and we start laughing, and it's funnier because somebody outside listening to that be going like, "What the heck are they talking about? And why are they laughing so hard?" Yeah. But it's been interesting to find out who listens.
Yeah.
You get comments of Carl. We get feedback from our treasurer a lot.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
You got to share this feedback.
Yeah, we should compile something.
Because I don't... He gives you the feedback.
You've seen most of the feedback. There's been a couple that he's just talked to me about, but...
stuff he wants us to do differently?
No, just comments on it. I really like this. What do you guys thought about this? Or... So we were talking about those social experiments here a few weeks ago,
and Carl
commented and said, "Hey, well, I've had experience with this because of this." And
Carl would be awesome on the podcast.
He would.
I think so.
I know he's super busy and has a family and a life, much like Gary, actually.
Oh, we all do. Well, just it's all different places and different stages.
I guess that's fair.
Fair enough.
I feel like
as Bob said, I'm getting to the end of mine.
I feel like I don't do anything, though. I feel like I just work and then go home, and...
I think it's been worse this summer more than anything else, because that's what I feel like. I've got a new job, and I should be excited as all get out about it, and I'm just kind of like, no. I get to go back and do the same thing that I did Friday. I get to do Monday.
You're still doing your old job, too. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I've considered getting, a little side gig, to be honest. Not because, not for any other reason other than just, I've been spending a lot of time with, my girlfriend and stuff, but, I feel like I don't do things. I feel, again, I'm working in, or definitely cut that because I don't want people to know where I'm working. But I'm working essentially in an office all by myself, and like I don't talk to anybody, and so I sit in this office for 8 hours.
For 8 hours, yeah.
I try to take like a little walk during the middle of the day, just literally just to break it up, because it's so there's nothing to do, and like there's just no one to talk to or like do anything, and then I go home and I just sit on my couch and watch Netflix or YouTube or whatever. Or even just read a book, right? Like
I'll say read books.
But like, it doesn't like. I just feel like I'm not doing. I feel like I'm just spinning the wheels.
Sounds like it's more like you want more social stuff.
Totally, 100%. Like I know I can't.
Well, that's one thing that's getting me a little excited about us being able to at least have lodge again, stated meetings again. Because I get a little social. I mean, that's why I went back to running EMS calls.
Yeah.
I mean, I had taken a leave of absence in December because it was just too much. And then all this stuff hit, and now I'm back to running calls again. I could be helping run an ambulance here in January, Need that interaction.
Yeah.
And I'm like you. I'm in an office all day long, and I have no interaction with anybody. Unless it's through a video conference or on the telephone. And it's not the same. It's not the same.
It doesn't feel that same need.
I got to have some in-person interaction.
100%.
And this will shock the crap out of my wife, because sometimes when I'm home, I just walk into my den and close the door.
And what does not help with that is that we haven't done this in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know. I've been thinking about getting just like, but like it's hard to find a side gig that like, just something to do, right? Like I don't know what that would be. Like I don't know. Like I've just done this for the last 6 years, 7 years, whatever. Like I don't.
So you mean like a job or just something
like,
to do?
Have you looked into like volunteer opportunities or something like that?
Or volunteering stuff would be good.
That's not a bad idea.
That's a very good idea.
Volunteering is a great idea.
So yeah, there's a lot of people just begging for volunteers for certain types of stuff.
I'm gonna look into that. Like I've definitely been looking for like a paid thing, but like nothing's really been.
It's always
find anything that I really want.
It's always good as a resume builder. I mean, I've got scouting on mine and volunteer fire service on mine, and that's always helped from the job aspect.
Sure.
But and when I hire employees, that's what I look for. I like to see what you do outside of work. If I see that you're proactive in your community, if you're doing very similar things to what I want you to do here, that's even better.
Totally.
You know?
I want to look into that. I think that's a good idea. Thank you. I don't know why that didn't occur to me, but that's a very smart idea. Cool. Well, this has been the From the North podcast, Masonic podcast.
Jason wants it to end, so it's over now.
Yep. Exactly. I felt like that was a natural end for us.
Not anymore.
No, it was a good end point. We're going forward. This was the From the North podcast.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm glad I don't have to edit that, because like that would be a nightmare. This has been the From the North, a Masonic podcast.
I was going to start to cough again as a joke.
You would. Thank you so much for listening. We've had a good time kind of getting back into the swing of things now that we're done with that hiatus.
Yes, please.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Seriously. Okay, seriously.
I'm serious.
Yeah, we're all seriously serious.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you for listening. We will see you next time if you feel like it. Okay, bye.
The hosts of the From the North podcast are providing this podcast as a public service and for their own selfish motives. It is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of any Grand Lodge, local lodge, or any Masonic body or Freemasonry in general. Any reference to any specific product, subject, or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation. The rantings, tomfoolery, and views expressed by the guests and the host are absolutely their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them, any Grand or local lodge, or any entity they represent.
It's all about me.